Hello and welcome back. Thank you to everybody who checked out my first video. Uh, I was a little nervous in that one, but I really wanted to get the content out, and I'm so happy for everybody who viewed it, who showed their support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So today I'm going to go a little bit into more detail and then kind of get into another topic. And then kind of tell you about the new books that I got because I'm super excited. I'm super excited about these books. I told you about this year, I was going through a lot. So to refresh you guys, turning 25, quarter life crisis, swear. Okay. I went through one heartbreak with someone I was talking to for like 9 years, where I was like super duper in love, and found out like that person did not love me the way that I needed to be loved. There you go. And so that was a real hurt piece. And then thought I fell in love with somebody else, which I came to the understanding that it wasn't that I fell in love, but I began to understand love in a different way. And with that was very heartbreaking because it didn't end how I wanted it to end. But, I'm like a romantic, so so yeah, it was kind of a hard pill to swallow, but it was something that needed to happen. Like, I'm like a believer that no one is placed in your life for without a purpose. So yeah, he was a part of the creation of my shift. My interactions with everyone that I met this whole year was, or up until this point, was played a part in creating who I am today and creating this shift that I'm going through now. So that happened. I lost my car, which was very sad because I hate taking the bus. But I lost my car, almost lost my apartment, but thank God, things just came together in the last minute. It was last minute, about to put me out kind of minute. It's no, we got it. It's gonna happen. So that was totally amazing. And then, I kind of work at a job that I'm I need more. I'm supposed to be doing more. Now I'm very grateful for my job and it's providing, but I know that I'm set apart and supposed to be doing something different. So that weighs heavy on me, my mental and my emotional state a lot. And then, like I said, I was faced with a subject of life that I was faced with too many times. So someone didn't respect my space and didn't respect my no and moved forward with some things, and it kind of set me back into a place where I was mentally unstable again, and I fell back into depression. And I told you I do suffer from PTSD, so it set me back into that place. And I remember sitting at my job on the bathroom floor, hugging myself, feeling paralyzed and not moving, and and I think I sat there for 30 minutes and I cried. And in that moment, I found my strength, and I remember who I was and whom I was. I remember that no, Tahira, you got this. You're gonna make it through this. You're stronger than this. God doesn't place things in your life for you to just fail. He did not meant this for your demise. You're gonna grow from this. So eventually I got up and I went back to work now before I got back to me and I began to smile again. But in that time, I realized my strength, and I realized how set apart I am. And yeah, now I'm here. Now I'm here. And in this creating of shift, I'm finally realizing all right, I'm called and I'm set apart, and I went through a lot of this turmoil for a purpose. I'm supposed to speak and share my story. I'm supposed to touch different people with this and some great capacity. And that's how I feel. And I feel like that's what my life is beginning to show me. What I find is that I have a very heavy, very loud, negative voice inside of me that talks to me and tell me nah, Tahir, nope, you can't do it. You're gonna do the same thing you did before. You're gonna drop the ball somewhere, or nah, you can't really take those kind of risks, you have responsibilities, or no, you can't really take this kind of risk, you don't have any money, like no, you can't take this kind of risk, this that, and third. So, and I found myself like trying to get into a place of solitude and like kind of coaching myself through it, like, not Tahira, like you're better than this negative voice, like the key is like it's your voice, like you're talking to yourself, so you could just mute that, you could just ignore that and recenter yourself and meditate and focus on your goal and pray and meditate and get yourself centered. Because one thing, like I see a lot, like I said, I see a lot of people on my timeline taking risks, like quitting their job, doing things that they're passionate about, or just doing like radical great things. And I was like, one thing you don't realize is that factor of fear. Because they may not have it, but I know me personally, I have it, and I go through it, and I go through it time and time again, and I have to realize that it's me infiltrating myself with fear, or it's a spirit of fear that's infiltrating me. And I was talking to my mom, and she was like, God haven't given you the spirit of fear, but the power to tread serpents. I hope I'm saying this right, Mom. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I had to keep remembering that, like, no, this is just a spirit of fear. Like, this is not it. Like, if you're called and you're set apart, like the universe or God, like he's gonna make a way for everything that you have in your way. Like, so recently I had a vision for an event that I want to put on for Create the Shift. So stay tuned. Woo woo. And I had a vision for it, and I saw everything down to a detail, like in the middle of like my job, like just had like this vivid vision of everything from the beginning to the end. And I just stopped what I was doing, grabbed the pen, and just start writing everything that I saw down to like the napkins. Like, it was crazy. And I was like, I know, like I just stopped in my tracks, and I was like, you know, I know that you gave me this vision. And I know that because you gave me this vision that you're going to see to it that it gets done. And yeah, yeah, I was a little nervous. And I was like, you know, but in the moment I'm excited. But like once I stopped to go back to my work, because I wanted to run out of there at that moment because I was just super excited about everything that was coming to me. But I had to stop it to get back to my job, so I was kind of sad. So after I let it settle, like then the fear starts seeping in. How am I gonna make this happen? Tahira, you don't have no money. Like you like what you gonna do? Like, you know, I went to school for public relations and I know how to do event planning. I'm very good at event planning, but how you gonna make this happen? You know, and all that starts settling in. And then days later, I laid down in my bed, I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning every day, regardless if I had to go to work or not. And I meditate and I like try to get my mind right. And I just had like crazy amount of fear, and I had a crazy amount of worry. And I just prayed, and I'm like, you know what? Please just hush these fears, like quiet my worries, and please send me direction. And in that time of asking for that, a couple minutes later, a friend of mine called me and was like, well, what are you worried about? And I mean, I told him that I was worrying. And then he was like, what are you worried about? So I told him my vision, and I told him things that I was scared of. And he was like, don't minimalize it. Don't minimalize your plan. Like, you was given this vision. Don't minimalize it in the beginning. And I was like, you know what? And he was like, why are you minimalizing it? And then I start saying, like, I'm scared. Like, I realized, like, it was just fear. And I'm like, hold up now. I'm going to minimalize this because it is called for me to minimalize. I'm not about to minimalize this over fear. And I was like, you know what? I thank God for sending you to just ask me a simple question, because this is what I was asking for. I asked for direction, and just immediately he sent somebody to like kind of refocus me into like what I needed to do. So I'm in awe of how things are working, how things have probably always worked and I just never paid attention. And now I'm like, my eyes are open and I'm like, wow, like you're just really working strategically and you're working in for my benefit. But yeah, so I realized like there's a lot of fear that was kind of staring me in some areas. And then I spoke to one of the speakers, and after speaking to one of the speakers, I kind of got discouraged because I'm like, once again, I'm thinking about that fear again. That fear is creeping back up, and I'm like, how am I gonna pay for all this? Like, this is crazy. And moments later, like when I tell you, like everything just fell into place. Like it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. So I'm like just encouraging you guys to like just don't really pay attention to the fear, because that's going to come. Like you're moving out of your comfort zone and you're preparing yourself for greater. Like when you move into this place of breakthrough and this season of consecutive wins, like there's going to be things that are going to scare the crap out of you because you're not used to it. You're used to this comfort zone of doing normal, regular stuff. But now you're moving into an area where you're going to be challenged, and you're going to have to consistently challenge yourself, and you're going to have to consistently think outside of your own box. And with that, like, there's going to be moments where you're going to talk to your own self and tell you that you can't do it, or you're going to create fears that's going to minimize the greatness that you have for yourself. And you have to learn how to quiet those voices and get into a quiet space. I mean, this works for me. I don't know, I'm just saying what's worked for me. Like, I don't want to tell you what's worked for you, but I like to quiet my space, everything around me, shut down everything around me, and just get into a meditative mind, and then just talk and talk my way through it, or just be quiet and be still, because God just has a way of like speaking to you, and like whether he's going to speak to you directly or show you something or send somebody to speak to you, but it's all going to work. If this is your calling and this is your desires of your heart, like it's going to find a way of panning itself out and working itself out. And that's like the greatest feeling ever. Like just to watch it, like, oh, all right. Like, oh, all right. Like I see what you're doing there. I see. So, and I also, another thing that allows me to get into a different mindset and just to keep myself encouraged. Like I said, I am an avid book reader. So I'm gonna tell you about the books that I'm reading, and I'm super excited about them. I got them yesterday. So I took a break from reading Issa's book, The Misadventures of the Awkward Black Girl. I know, curse me. I'm still going to read it. I'm still reading it, you guys. I'm still reading it. It's really good. It is hilarious. It is hilarious. But I did get The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. I hope I'm saying his last name right. Probably not. But I'm only like a couple pages in. I'm like still reading the first agreement. But so far, this book is amazing, and I've heard so many great reviews on it, and it's definitely like one of those books that like allows you to get out of your mindset and get out of everything that you're used to, and just kind of create your own path, or get on your path, basically. So the first agreement that I'm on is basically be impeccable with your word, and basically like the powers and the power of life and death is in the power of the tongue. I was gonna get it right. Yeah, so just like speak it. And as I go through this book, I mean, I'm gonna share with you guys like everything that I'm learning, because this is like really your life. Just speak it. Like speak your greatness. Speak like what you see yourself doing. Speak everything, like, and speak it with like discernment, and know that like it's gonna happen, and it will happen. It will happen. And then the next book, it's kind of holding up my camera. So just give me a minute. Here, The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. I heard great things about it. I couldn't tell you a bit about it, but I'm just super excited. As you can see, like I'm a real big reader on like anything that's self-help, and like to like refocus yourself and get you on a path of like righteousness and greatness. So as I read these books, I'll like bring you into my world. But definitely, if you're interested in them, get them. I'll put the links in the in the little part down there. Yeah, I got these from Barnes and Noble though. Definitely, Barnes and Noble is like awesome. I have a membership there, and I got this book for like $14.99. That was good. But I'm sure you can get it on Amazon too. I'll probably put the link to Amazon on there. And then this book you probably can get on Amazon as well. But I can't remember how much I paid for this. I just like kind of rung it up, and I was like, oh yeah, I love it and I want it. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or stuff, like comment, share, like all that good stuff. Subscribe, please. Yeah, because I'm gonna keep going through this whole journey. And just a reminder, quiet your fears, you guys. Like don't kind of prevent what God has for you just because you're afraid or whatever, because at the end of the day, he's going to make a way. Because I'm like really shocked at the progress that I've made up until this point. Like, I don't even know how I got to this point without him. Like, I've never, like, I've went through a lot. Like, I've changed religions like 1,001 times. You can ask anybody who knows me. And one thing that I do remain steadfast in is, like, I understood who God was, and I understood that regardless, like, he had my back. I remember at one time, this is a quick testimony. I'm, like, not going to hold y'all up too much longer. But I remember one time I was at school, and I was not about to go back because I did not have the money to go back. I was like, oh my gosh, I was calling on my friends, like, I ain't going back to school. I don't know. I got to be a college dropout. But not only did I get the money up to go back to school, but I also got a full scholarship for the last 2 years of my college life. And it was just phenomenal. And I got to finish, and I graduated. Woo! Slippery Rock University. Woo! Woo! Shout out to the Rock Nation. Woo, woo. So yeah, I got to graduate, and I'm super excited. And from that moment on, I knew I was never going to deny him. So just stay steadfast, y'all. Put your fears to sleep. Like, don't worry, because he's going to make a way out of no way. He has greater for you guys. And yeah, see you next time.